The SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Sponge Out of Water, Sponge on the Run. There have been many SpongeBob movies, but over the last 5 years, there has been a harsh decline in quality with the following installments. Let's just say the Sandy Cheeks and Plankton movies were, how do I put it, clearly made by Netflix. So you can understand my skepticism with the franchise's latest installment, Search for SquarePants. The track record just didn't show any willingness to improve. What was once a beloved children's character had become a shameless cash grab. But there was something that caught my attention, something that made me second guess myself. This was going to be SpongeBob's first big theater release in 5 years, and on top of that, it was being backed by an original song by current music sensation, Ice Spice. These are not things you can just do. Money was clearly put into this, so there must have been some kind of redeeming quality here, something that could save this poor cartoon from the husk that it has become. I mean, I'm not expecting a perfect movie, but with this kind of release, there must be something here. So hey, what's going on? I'm Storm, I need sleep, and today we are going to be talking about the most misunderstood SpongeBob movie of all time.
Wow.
Herbert, you have something to say?
Well, you're talking about the movie, but aren't you missing something important?
What would that be?
You know, the controversy.
Oh, yeah. That.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say. I mean, can you believe that Ice Spice wore...
Hey man, stop yelling! This is a studio. There is no need to yell. I am sitting right here. God help me, I will call HR.
I'm sorry, I got a little worked up there.
We work together. This is a professional setting. We are on the clock. Chill out.
Yeah, that's my bad.
We'll get into the controversy in a bit, I promise. But that's all anyone's talking about. No one's actually appreciating the movie. So, let's talk about that first. Think of the controversy more like a dessert, a way to cap things off. You'll have your turn. Okay?
Okay.
SpongeBob The Search for SquarePants is the newest installment in the SpongeBob saga, and it follows our favorite yellow sponge on an adventure with the Flying Dutchman, in an effort to prove to Mr. Krabs that he is, as the Ice Spice song says, a big guy. And how else to prove your toughness than venturing through the underworld with, as I said, the Flying Dutchman, voiced by Mark Hamill. Correction, voiced by Mark Hamill doing his Joker voice, which was a little jarring at first, but always welcome. Now, I'll be the first to admit that the premise sounds a little bit two-dimensional. Main character doesn't feel courageous enough, they go on some crazy adventure, and after overcoming adversity, they realize that the bravest thing they could do is just be themselves. And everything's okay in the end. Which in theory sounds kind of dull, but I think the simplicity of this plot helped the movie really shine. Because normally a SpongeBob movie tries to make a spectacle of itself, impress you with flashy CGI and crazy humor. But this display of limitation felt like it gave the breathing room that these movies have been missing. Because even with its cinematic flair, it still holds the essence of a regular SpongeBob episode. The entire movie feels like a reimagined SpongeBob with clean and, I'll say it, beautiful looking 3D animation. But Storm, what about the other movie's animation? My problem with the prior installments, not these two. The problem I had with the previous film was that the animation looked amazing. I mean, it was right in that second wave of Spider-Verse animation, but it didn't exactly feel like SpongeBob. However, his newer, slightly flatter but more saturated animation just seems a lot more on brand. In short, this entire film is just an hour-and-a-half long SpongeBob episode, and probably the best movie we've gotten so far. Case in point, I'm not sure why this has become a reoccurring theme, but in every single one of these movies, there is a live-action animation hybrid segment, where characters will interact with the real world, and a lot of the time, like just for example these, two movies, it tends to not look very good. Or in Sponge Out of Water and Sponge on the Run, it looks incredible. But the aim with this latest installment wasn't to look good, it was to look stylized. You see, with the series, there are often live-action elements that are executed with low quality, but it almost has a sort of charm to it, so much so that it has become a staple of the show. So in this movie, when the segments look really badly edited or the green screen feels a little too obvious, it doesn't come off as a badly distributed budget, a limitation. Rather, it feels intentional, carefully done in this way to stay true to the source material, like real thought was put into this project. And actually, this intuition would be right, because this movie did have more thought put into it. And I know that for a fact. Do you want to know how? Well, while I was doing research for this video, Google searches, watching movie, writing it all down in my little notebook, you know, the works, I came across an article discussing how this movie was originally supposed to be a straight-to-streaming film. Allegedly, this was supposed to be a Mr. Krabs movie and be as hard to watch as the last two, but thankfully, no seriously, thank God, Paramount decided that SpongeBob needed one more shot in the theaters, so the entire script got entirely reworked and the budget got 30 times bigger. This would explain why the script is so tight compared to every other SpongeBob movie. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure all of those other movies had rewrites, but they all, to some degree, felt a little random. And I know that that's an essential part of SpongeBob's humor, but this time around it just felt a little more intentional. Like it was random, but on purpose, if that makes sense.
Okay, you've said your piece. Can we please talk about the Ice Spice controversy now?
Yeah, okay. Because you were so patient, we can talk about it.
Good, because you have an interview with the news in like 8 seconds.
What? Storm, welcome back to the show. You know we always love to have you here.
Yeah, Cheryl, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Let's get straight to the point, shall we?
Yeah, of course.
So, there has been a lot of controversy surrounding the movie you're talking about today.
That would be right.
From what I've heard, Ice Spice, a growing musician in the hip-hop scene, was invited onto the SpongeBob movie to create an original song for its soundtrack. Due to her contribution, she was obviously invited to the premiere, and let's say her choice of attire was less than tasteful. What do you think, Storm?
Well, I'm of the belief that you should be able to wear whatever you want. I mean, I get what she did was inappropriate. It was the premiere to a kids' movie. It was in poor taste, but it's nothing to get cancelled over.
I think it was bad, and she is bad, and I don't like her. She is a bad person. How dare she? I am outraged.
Yeah, Storm, I couldn't agree more.
You're not gonna edit any of this footage, right? This is live.
Of course not. That wouldn't be honest journalism.
I have very strong opinions about abortion.
Whoa. I would love to hear about them in great detail.
What are you talking about?
Anyway, Storm, thank you for your time. Let's hear the weather from Grandpa.
So, what am I supposed to do?
You have to show them the weather behind you.
But this is just a green sheet.
Oh my God. SpongeBob The Search for SquarePants was a movie that had everything going against it. It was following two terrible installments, it had one of the world's biggest IPs attached to it, and on top of that, all of its marketing was for naught, because all everyone could talk about was what a rapper wore to an awards show. It was a movie that frankly I did not expect to like. But with a simple and good plot, it managed to exceed my expectations and become what I think every SpongeBob movie should be. Not some spectacle, not some flashy, pretty-looking movie, and not whatever this is. All it had to be was a SpongeBob movie. Because sometimes that's enough. Thank you for watching, I really hope you enjoyed, and Happy New Year! Make sure to leave your New Year's resolutions in the comments so I can rate them from 1 to 10 on how realistic they are. Also, watch this video next, because YouTube thinks you'll like it. And, you know what? So do I. Anyways, I will see you later. Have a great rest of your day, and sorry for screaming just a second ago. That was a little uncalled for.